Welcome back to Riahs tie-dye. Today we are going to do a lightweight hoodie. Very thin, but it's going to be great for spring and summer, like around campfires and at night. So we're going to do this, and it's going to be a little different because we are going to do ice dye. However, instead of keeping it up out of the melted ice, that's what I was looking for. The melted ice, it's actually going to sit down in the tray, and everything that goes down into it, we call it the muck. So it's going to soak up whatever is in there, and it's going to do its own thing, and it's going to look super cool. So before we do that, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And then right after you do that, hit the notification bell and put it to all, because then you'll get notified every time we post a video, and you're not going to want to miss them. All right, so we have a zip-up hoodie. It's 100% cotton. If you need to know, the brand is Hanes, and it's in my size because I would love to wear some tie-dye, and I have a lot, but I don't have a zip-up hoodie, so I'm going to make this for me. It is a light, very light hoodie, but like I said earlier, it's going to be perfect for spring, summer campfires and stuff like that, so I am excited to have it. Now I am just going to do a swirl, but we're doing a muck swirl, so the muck isn't going to matter until we dye it. So for right now, we're going to do our plain simple swirl. We are going to have to try to work with the zipper a little bit. I am not going to unzip it because that'll just ruin the swirl, but we're going to have to try to get it to move with us. So that might be a little bit of a challenge, but nothing we can't get through. So if you haven't tried a swirl yet, we're going to try to pinch because it is a zipper. And then we're going to try to swirl it, and just to get started, just move. Oh, I can't talk. So I am turning it to the right. So just turn it to the right some so you get it started, and then hold it there because the zipper will come back at you. And then we're going to maneuver this around on itself instead of keep spinning, because I find if you spin it in the middle and just do it that way, it bunches up way too much. So when I can manipulate the fabric on the outside, I find that it turns out a lot better. No bunching. I mean, there might be a little bit of bunching, but not as much as there would be. So we are going to just maneuver all of our fabric. So same thing with the hood and the sleeves. It's gonna go wherever you put it. So just work your way around the center here. Try to make it as even as you can. Some of it, like I said, is going to be a lot taller, probably toward the outside because it's thicker. And if you need it to, try to tighten it up in the center a little bit and work your fabric around as much as you can. So this whole sleeve is going to come around. This hood is going to come around, the other sleeve is going to come around, and just try. And like I said, the zipper part is going to be a little difficult to work with, but we will figure it out. So it's a little loose on this side, so we're going to pull that. And the hood's coming over, and this other sleeve. Pull this. So the sleeve is probably going to become its own kind of swirl, which would be cool. Pull the hood. It's bunching up right here, so we're gonna mess with that a little bit. More bunches. Pull the hood. Trying to get your sleeve over here is pretty much at its limit, so we're gonna just keep that there and then pull the hood kind of next to that and make sure this is tight and how you want it. So if it's pleated, it'll look better. So this is kind of pleated but not, you know, like a uniform pleat. And then we got another sleeve right here. We gotta pull around and pull this. Make sure this has its pleats too. Pull it, pull it, pull it. Pull it in. Right, and this side is still kind of left here, so we're gonna pull this. This is the bottom of the hoodie. And then we got this 2 sleeves right here that's left. So we're gonna pull this one over, and then this one is done. And this one's actually lining up with the hood. So now we can use our rubber bands. So if you want to, you can use your rubber bands as guides for the dye too. So if you only want to put a couple on there, that is totally fine. I like to put as many rubber bands as I can because I don't want my swirl to get messed up while I'm moving it, because you should try not to move your tied items or your swirls as much as you possibly can. If you can leave it, that's the best thing, because then it won't get ruined and you won't have to worry about it. But I can't do that. I do have my own room, but at the same time I don't. I have to move it so that I can put it on the tray. I have to make sure if there's a tray that I have to use, it's on that, so it can get caught on things. So I just like to make sure mine is nice and secure before I try to dye it, especially if it's something that I tied and I drawn and I worked really hard on, because it would be a very bad shame if it got messed up and I dyed it anyways. I would be very upset. So I will probably just I will pick right now the 2 largest sections, which is that one and this one. Put rubber bands on those, and that should be good. So if I pick it up, it will be a little flimsy, but not really. So look at that. We have a swirl hoodie with zipper and all, which I am very proud of because the zipper is very thick on this, and I am very proud that we got a swirl out of that. This was soaked in soda ash and then spun out in the washer, so it's damp when I'm tying this. I always tie my stuff damp because it's easier to move, and it actually takes the dye a lot better, and you don't have to use as much dye. So, but it doesn't matter because we're doing ice dye muck swirl. So now we're gonna set up our station, and we're gonna do kind of like a pie. I'm only doing 3 sections instead of normally I do 3 colors and then 3 colors and then 3 colors. No, I'm doing a section of black, a section of green, and a section of yellow. And then we're gonna put ice on top of that, and then that's gonna sit for 24 hours. But we could talk more about that after we get the dye on. Alright guys, so what I basically did is I have a piece of cardboard that I separated each color with, and I did change my mind on the black. This does look black, but it's not. So I have bright yellow here, lime pop here, and royal blue here, and I have a little tin foil border around it to keep my ice in there. This is not on a tray, so this is where the muck part comes in. This is sitting directly on the tray and not the rack, I should say. So when we put ice on this and it starts to melt, it's going to go straight down through the hoodie, and then the hoodie itself is actually going to be sitting in whatever dye melted through it. So it will make a really cool effect. Some of this will get blended together and it'll look super awesome. So royal blue, bright yellow, and lime pop here. We're going to put ice on it now, and then when you're all done and you put your ice on it, let it sit, don't touch it for at least 24 hours. If you feel like you have to put more ice on, that is totally fine. Normally you can lift it up and look at the bottom when it's sitting on a rack, but this time I don't recommend that. Just let it melt. If you want to add more ice, go ahead. I always play it by ear, so when I see that the ice is melted, I look at how much powder is still on it, and then I'll make a judgment call. So you should do the same thing. But this is sitting in the muck, so it will be sitting in plenty of dye. So let's add our ice. And then after we do the letting it sit for 24 hours part, which nobody likes because nobody wants to wait that long to look at their awesome tie-dye, you're going to want to rinse the hoodie out until the water is clear. And then we can reveal it, and then you want to wash it in hot water with cold rinses with Synthropol detergent, which is also in the description box below, and then let it hang dry and it will be perfectly awesome. So ice time. Alright you guys, so now just let it sit for your 24 hours. You can even let it sit for 48 if you're really busy, or however long you think you want to let it sit for, but try not to let it dry out. Even though it's sitting in dye, the top will get all dried out. But you don't want it to get dried out because of the soda ash and the soda ash in the, the soda ash in the hoodie has to react with the dye, and if it gets dry, it's not actually reacting with the fiber, so it's not going to look as good as it could have been. So let it sit, and then make sure if it does dry out, you can spray it with a little bit of water, not too much, but spritz it with a spray bottle of water. And then, like I said, once we're ready to reveal, just make sure you rinse it out until the water is clear, and then we can open it up and reveal it. Alright, so we are doing our reveal. It sat for 24 hours. This was the Muck hoodie. Yay, by the way. I've never done Muck before, but this one's going to be cool. This is the front. This is where we put the dye on top. And then this is what happened to the bottom. So all the blue kind of mixed in, made some more green, you know. So that's why I picked those colors. I felt like if I mix the wrong colors, I'm going to get a whole lot of brown. And I don't look good in brown. Just, maybe I do, I don't know. I don't personally think so. But I am super excited to have a lightweight, awesome tie-dye hoodie for the spring and the summer to wear. And if you are too, and you're doing it with me, I want to see those pictures in the comments below, and I think you should subscribe. Just saying. You should subscribe so you can get more cool stuff like this. And then hit the notification bell just to go over this again. You will be notified every time we make a video. So I'll give you a second. Okay, we're good now. So this is the Muck hoodie. This sat in the dye. Whew, yes. Look at that. The yellow and the green are super bright and the blue is dark. It looks awesome. And my sleeves have all the colors in it. Look at this sleeve. It's got the blue highlight in it. That looks awesome. And then my hood, show you the hood, has all three colors in it. The back looks like the front. And the zipper stayed white. Well, it looks kind of cool. And the strings look like they changed color, but I do not know what the strings are made out of, so that actually could wash out, but either way, it looks super awesome. So let me give you a quick view of the back all the way open again. That looks cool. Very happy with that. With the hood, because I don't know if you know, but the lime pop is my favorite color in the Dharma collection, but this looks awesome. I almost went with black, and I'm glad that I didn't because the black would have went all over, but I still think that would have looked cool. Unless we put too much ice on it, and then it would have been gray, so I think this is better anyways. So if you haven't hit the like button for this video, go ahead and hit it, and then comment something cool about this hoodie. And if you haven't looked yet, I have an Instagram. It's called Riahs Tie Dye. I also have a Facebook. It's under M&M's Creative Corner because that's our old name, but that's going to be changed soon too. Thanks for watching and wait for the next video.